This podcast is part of E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience. David Housel described it best. We are living the whole of the Auburn experience. You can quantify it, you can qualify it through a variety of methods, time, people, places, and things. But at its heart, at its core, the Auburn experience is all about Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family. The easy way to say it, though, is if it's orange and blue, it is what we do. So thank you so much for joining us. And what we're going to be doing today, episode 178, as I kept trying to call it 168 for some reason. I'm trying to backtrack, Austin. It's weird. 178 here with us. As always, I'm your host, Kyle Loomis, the Sunshine Pumping One, gladly, proudly wearing that label. And the other guy wearing a hoodie in summer, that co-host here on screen with me, which is very weird to see. Austin Scott, welcome back, sir.
Well, thank you so much. First off, I don't know what 10 weeks ago was for episode 168, but I'm glad we're where we are now instead of there. And also, you don't know what the temperature is in my house. It could be hoodie weather inside my house. It doesn't matter what temperature is outside.
It's a great looking Auburn hoodie. I'm not downplaying that. I'm just saying I just came from outside doing yard work, trying to hustle to get in here. And that was not hoodie weather out there. So you guys must have like an ice box in your house.
Well,
right now.
Yes and no. It is cooler than probably anyone else would like it. But because it is summer, I also am my skin underneath here is quite pink. And so I have decided to wear a bigger hoodie so that I cannot hurt as much because of said sunburn.
Do you just get sunburn walking outside? Like, is that what life
No,
is like for you?
We were at the pool yesterday, and I was not intelligent enough to put on as much sunscreen as needed, and so I paid the price.
Listen, my sunburn that I came back with for last show has finally started to mellow out, especially along the back and the shoulders and stuff like that. I mean, last week when I was, if y'all probably could see like radiation spiking off of my shoulders. So I'm good now, and would like to say more well-rested after the vacation, but I don't know that I can say that, Austin. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
On that note, a little bit of personal information stuff. I know last week, and I knew better than to do this, Austin. I knew it, that I had some personal news that we were going to be able to share. Good news. Everything's fine still. We just can't announce it yet. I knew it, Austin. You know what, Austin? We learned last episode.
Yeah.
Say it, Austin.
You can't have nothing.
You can't have nothing.
You can't have nothing.
Oh, it's almost like, you wish others could be held in contempt of something because you could be held in contempt if you didn't. Anyway, okay, so with that in mind, hopefully we'll have that announcement sooner rather than later. At this point, we're at the point where it should be sooner rather than later. I want to steer us away from that to a little bit more like housekeeping stuff, but I got to come clean to start off the show of something that occurred last show, something that you took me to task over in our Conquer Club with our our Mount Rushmore of Auburn Quick Eats that we did last week, which I thought was fairly excellent, to be honest with you. And it seems like other than one caveat, you agreed as well with what we came up with.
Certainly. Yeah, I think we did a great job. I think a lot of people enjoyed it. I heard from several on some things that they would prefer instead. But, and I do need to add a testament to this, or a credit to this. My father was texted. He watched on delay last week and texted me after and said, can't believe you didn't put Pandy George's on there. And I thought, you know what? That's on me. That is on me. Because that fits all our criteria. It is you order at the counter, quite literally. I was going to ask. You watch you tell them everything you want, and then you take it and you sit down. It is quick service in every form and fashion. It is an Auburn flavor and an Auburn staple, and we did not add it. So I think if retroactively, if I were to go back and change it, I think I would switch it out for Amsterdam's. But that's a good one that has all the say to be included on many Mount Rushmores of quick service food in Auburn.
I'm going to slide my Auburn card over to you for a second.
Yes.
Just let you decide what you want to do with it here. So here it is. I've slid it over to you.
Yes, got it. Thank you.
I have not been to Pandy George's.
That's really surprising to me. Truly.
Why is that?
I don't know. I feel like because you don't you normally come off of that on that exit?
Well, it depends on do I want to just get off the interstate? Am I tired of it, or do I want to go that extra? By the way, what is it? Exit the middle at Auburn exit. Well, I never know the exit numbers. Help me, Austin.
I don't know the numbers either. You talking
Okay, I call it
Tigertown, Bent Creek,
not
or
not okay, yeah, Bent Creek. So
Bent Creek?
you got Tigertown, Bent Creek, then Auburn coming the way that I do.
Correct.
So
yeah.
it's really like the longest from Bent Creek to Auburn exit. Like
Correct,
it's the longest there. And so it's really amount of like, do I want to deal with that or not?
Yeah.
That
Do you
extra
want to
little
go
bit of time.
not one extra exit, but like 8 extra miles.
But you know what calls me? We're really going on a tangent here. You know what really calls me forward, even though I may not be going there, is the Buc-ee's. Like that's what's drawing me.
Which is one past.
It is, but it's
one even
like
further.
I'm closer to it, so I could like make an excuse to go over there or something. I don't know. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Yeah,
Penny George's.
Penny George's is one that surprises me. You just haven't hit because of its Auburn flair.
Southern cooking,
many Southern cooking, man. Many greats have come through there. It was on Todd's Taste of the Town back in the day when Todd Blackwoods would do that on Saturday nights. Yeah, man, you gotta get over there for some good food, and don't let them know that this is your first time and you've been coming to Auburn this many times, because they might let you hear it a little bit. But you got to get over there for some good food, some homemade Kool-Aid, and take in the Auburn flair.
So here's what I'm going to do, Austin. I'm going to commit to you. I know it seems like of course you can accomplish this, but there's a lot going on when I come to Auburn and stuff.
I gave you yes.
I'm gonna say by the end of this calendar year,
that's December, even better.
I will be at Penny and George's, and because my mother will be in the Auburn Opelika area, and we'll be there more often as a family, and probably want to do something different other than the awesome things that we always go do and eat when we're at Auburn. I commit to you that I can probably convince my crew to slide on over there and try it for the first time. So can I receive that card back temporarily?
You can. I think I told you in Concord Club in 365 days you had to accomplish this. You've decided to take it to about 6 months. So that's good with me. You must get the fried chicken. You have to go on a fried chicken day.
Okay. Oh, they're days.
Well, yes, I think they do it on more. It's hard to explain, but the menu is like determined.
Sure. And
you decide what you want. Whether you want a meat in 2 or meat in 3, so. But the meats are different each day. I think the fried chicken is most of the days of the week. Like it's an option. But that is a must. You must get the fried chicken.
All right, that's fair. It's like going to Mama Goldberg's. You got to get your mama's love, all that. So if you go to Niffers, you got to get the corn nuggets. Like that. I mean, it's all the different things that have their staples. Okay.
I look forward to hearing your review.
We will make it happen, hopefully sooner rather than later. And I apologize to anybody that felt that we had not done that due justice. And listen, it doesn't have to be on ours or anybody in Mount Rushmore, but at least it needed to be mentioned in the discussions of it.
It does. I felt terrible.
That's on us, mainly on me for not even being there. So I have atoned for that. Anything else for you this week that's happened interesting that's on your mind?
Not really, man. It's slow and steady around Auburn. It's Camp War Eagle campers and parents are everywhere. It feels like there are more Camp War Eagle sessions than ever these days. But it just feels like we are in that middle of the summer dog days, and things are kind of slow around, but everybody's prepping and preparing for what's to come. I know we'll talk about JHS North here and at the end of the show, but I saw a lot of updates this week of like drone footage and aerial views, and I don't get around that area very much. We haven't done a full comprehensive campus walk as a family here in a minute, but it seems like they have torn it up and they're ready to go. So it's just that describes what it is for summer. Like maintenance people and Camp War Eagle people are just walking around all the time, getting things ready before the masses returned.
It's the good old saying, welcome construction, don't mind the Auburn. It's going on right now, as I told you back when I was there for not A-Day, but the Super Regional Weekend, all that kind of stuff, and it's full blown good. And as you said, we'll get into it some more with the JHS North project, and yes, WT, shout out to him. We got the food in for you, and we got the construction updates in.
He loves it. I know he does.
I know he's acting like he doesn't, but he does. All right, let's roll into the main part of the show here. We'll start off with Auburn potpourri, as we always do. The other news stories that we want to make sure we hit before we get into the main stuff this week. Austin, we teased it. Well, technically Auburn teased it, but we kind of played around with that, knowing that the announcement was coming forthwith. Ella Langley is coming to Auburn, Alabama to play in Neville Arena for a 2-night event, August 28th, 29th, and Ernest and Gabriella Rose. Gabriella Rose will also be there as special guests for that tonight. Part of her, was it called the Dandelion Tour that she's got going on right now? So, Austin, it didn't take long for us to figure out a way for an event to get at least a little bit comparable height to the Messi soccer event. Here we are. It's official.
It's official. People are thrilled. Well, let's go back up. They were thrilled. I think people are still very excited. The ticket pre-sale, I can attest to firsthand, was a bit of a chaotic situation. We did try. Emily sat in the queue for less time than I did, but we failed to get tickets before they started appearing on StubHub and various places for oodles of dollars. But it sounds like Ella Langley is going to do a 2-night show. The hometown girl returns. I don't think she made it all the way to graduation, but a former Auburn student returns, and I'm sure she is thrilled to be playing Neville Arena. Thrilled for so many Auburn fans to get to come see her. She has just blown up recently. So if you'll remember, Kyle, this was one of the ones that I said when we first started talking about Peachtree Entertainment that I thought would be on the docket. I thought it'd be before now. I thought we'd be talking about it earlier than now. But it has made it, and I'm sure it's going to be a big hit.
I know it's in that episode. If you go back and look at it, I don't remember which one it is, but I think we even put the clip out. So I'll have to go back and review to confirm if you were correct in that or not. I wasn't aware of her star power at the time, but obviously I am now, given what she's done, winning, Female Artist of the Year, I think is what it was for CMA and all that. Obviously being from the Auburn-ish area, the tertiary areas of Hope Hole. I know Hope Hole decently well, being a Montgomery person, where I was born and raised for a lot of my life myself. Old Hooper Academies down there. We whip their tails every single time. So I wonder if she actually went to Hooper or not. That would be an interesting extra little caveat there. And an Auburn fan. Looks like she wore a jersey to the concert that happened in Bryant-Denny not too long ago. I think that's what happened.
How about that? I hadn't seen that.
I think that's correct. I'm 90% sure that's what happened. That's why they even shared it in the announcement clip of her saying War Eagle baby. Listen, I'm not going to be going. I didn't even try. I hope some of you did. From what I understand, Austin, it was really, is there anything wrong with the ticketing thing, or was it just the sheer amount of people that were trying?
I think it was a sheer amount of people. I think a lot of people signed up for the pre-sale to try to get in, and it was more just luck of the draw than anything on if you made it in. I know some people who signed on 3 minutes in, they got tickets for a reasonable price and were good to go. Some waited an hour and a half and got in. There was nothing left. So I think it's just, everybody has their own qualms about how you buy tickets to things these days. And I think it was more of a luck of the draw thing than anything. I have seen a lot of people, and I'm going to say this, Emily's already heard this rant, so I'm going to say this. I have seen a lot of people say, this is just dumb. She should have played Jordan-Hare. Why didn't they do this in Jordan-Hare?
It's so easy to say these things without knowing the facts. Easy.
And I think there's a couple caveats to that, is that one, this tour that she's on, she certainly has blown up throughout the course of it. Like, it has been a very dramatic rise for her over the course of this tour. So it's not like she was just selling out stadiums left and right. And so because of that, she's only been playing. I looked just to be curious, because I was curious. I looked, she's really playing 15 to 20,000 arenas on this tour. Like, it's not something like she's been going and playing 90,000 seat stadiums, and then you add on all the floor seats and all that. Like, it's not – that. This would be a massive jump for her to go ahead and play Jordan-Hare. And let's remember, 20 years ago, Jordan-Hare was a the venues don't bring in the sound equipment. Like I'm not sure Miss Ella Langley wants to go purchase equipment to play Jordan-Hare Stadium or figure all that out, change her stadium or change her show to do that. And so like you said, it's very easy to go ahead and say that, and I think it's also very misguided, but that's what I get for paying attention to what people say on the internet.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that, and especially these type of they get on podcasts and do things like this. I don't know.
Yeah,
They're kind of
losers.
What losers?
They wear hoodies and
you
gym.
sunshine pumpers. No, I think they would certainly do well, or she would do well in a capacity in Jordan-Hare Stadium. I'll just go ahead. I've said it before. I'll throw out my prediction again, and I think it'll be the future, given the success of just the pre-sale on this one, or the interest, I should say. Some of you say success. I didn't get tickets. Sorry, you're not entitled to tickets. Chill out. But I think if you combine her and Riley Green together in a stadium event like that, oh man, you want to talk about that level of intensity that we saw with Messi? I think that will do well. But either way, it's happening. I don't know if you can still go after tickets or not somehow, except on the secondary market, ellalangley.com. There you go. She chose Auburn. We can tell. I got it in one more time. Okay. All right, let's move on to some more familiar topics for some of our Auburn folks. We've got some Auburn football, say it with me, recruiting news every single show. I mean, like, what is this? I think it's at least 7 straight shows that you and I have been doing some form of recruiting update. What's cool about this update is we get 2 related-ish together in terms of position to talk about all in the same day, which I thought was really cool. And I don't want to say that this is like giving you the same vibes as the Freeze 4 and all that kind of stuff, or what people were trying to make the Freeze 5 and stuff like that. But it feels like with this new, that room completely wiped away, the new room of all the USF guys coming in, and then some of them will be gone after this, this thing around. It kind of feels like the new wave is rolling in here, especially when you have a day like that with Auburn football wide receiver recruiting. So 2, Deshaun Hall was the first commitment of the day, and then followed very quickly by, Mr. Cedric Simmons, both 2027 wide receivers, both out of the state of Alabama. And you got 2 different types here as well, Austin, of wide receivers coming in here, at least of measurables and builds types of guys.
Right. Yeah. Deshaun Hall, I want to say the number 1 receiver in the state of Alabama, based on, some metric that somebody has decided. But like you said, really tall guy, 6'5", 195. So, that big, tall frame that maybe we see out of a Keyshawn Singleton this year, or and what Alex Golish likes to see from the outside receiver option. Mm-hmm. And then you have Cedric Simmons, a 5'10", 195 guy. So a little bit smaller, a little bit quicker in the slot guy, like we might see from or what we've already seen in a way, if you want to say, from Deshaun Spencer and A-Day and in the spring practice game. So definitely molds that Alex Golish and his offense is used to recruiting. Good to see that they're having success inside the state with offensive prospects like this. You got to hope that once you see some proof of concept on the field, it only gets more important or gets more relevant to some of these guys. But great start. And like you said, it's just every week we're talking about some new guys who want to join the Auburn family.
Yeah, at the time of their commitments, because they came on the same day within hours of each other, you add them with the addition of Braylon Odor, who we've talked about previously. So that's your wide receiver class as of now. What sticks out to me, I always like to look at where these guys come from. We talked about the state of Alabama, but more importantly, Prattville, which could be made a case of it's kind of on that corridor of where we split the intensity levels of Auburn versus Alabama. So that's a big win there. And I would say the same thing for Selma as well, where Simmons comes from too. That's more, technically Tuscaloosa-ish territory. I always forget like how close they kind of are when you think about things too. So I would really make that case there. So taking care of in-state, local-ish or close-ish types of prospects, how they're perceived in rankings as far as in-state things too. And I did see this shared earlier this week that once again, it's I think it's 2 years in a row, like a lot of the in-state highly thought of guys are not necessarily going to Auburn or Alabama a lot. Now, last year they were going to all the Auburn, but like it's interesting to see how that's all transpiring right now with Auburn now as well going outside of the state a lot. But obviously still wanting to make sure they take care of the ones they can in home. So Deshaun Hall, Cedric Simmons, your next wide receivers in the class as of today. We'll see if they stick. And welcome to Auburn's 2027 class. Let's do some college football 27 talk. When does that come out again, Austin? I always forget.
It's got to be like a month from now.
Is it even a month from now?
Late July, probably early. There's like you can buy to get it
the
even
pre-sale.
earlier.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like the 20th, 21st, 22nd around that timeline.
You are wrong, sir. It is the July 9th. Early access is July 2nd, so this week. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm glad we checked on that one. Yeah, I've been a little bit out of it this year, folks. So we will be doing some content with that. But it's been a minute for me to have some time.
I did not know that. I thought that it was much later. I thought it was around media days.
Nope. You got some time in between to start playing the game a little bit, be in the game, so to speak. But there you go. We got some new stuff. Last week we talked about mascot mode is back, being able to play as Aubie with the headband and all this stuff. We debated whether he should have a headband out there for football, but we digress. They're doing the best they can. At least they gave us something. The big thing this week was things like player ratings, toughest places to play. Let's do some player ratings. I don't think this shocks anyone, Austin, that Xavier Atkins is the number 1 overall ranked Auburn athlete, the number 3 linebacker in the game. 91 overall. He is the only Auburn player in the 90-plus category for player ratings. But let's be honest, it's kind of like him getting all those preseason accolades. If you don't put him this high in the game, it's a stupid decision on their part.
Certainly, yeah. It's not surprising at all. He's Auburn's highest-rated player. I think a lot of people would say that is the case in the real life, too. He's Auburn's highest-rated prospect, rated player on all the award watch lists going into this season. So it makes a lot of sense. He'd be a lot of fun to play with. Anchoring DJ Durkin's, I'm sure, which is a very stout defense on the game this year. So looking forward to seeing what he looks like in the game and in real life.
Speaking of in the game, I'll run through the list of everybody else. Byron Brown, this is all going in order down the list. 89 overall, 88 Jeremiah Cobb, 88 Keyshawn Singleton, 87 Bryson Washington, 85 Rayshawn Pleasant, 84 Alex McPherson. That's deservedly so. I think it probably could be a little higher given what he's been through. 84, Dallas Walker. I don't think that should be surprising, but I think it will be for some people. Cody Sigler at 83, 82, Malik Autry, 82, Cole Bliss, 80, and 82 for the rest of the way. Jake Johnson, Andre Jordan, the cornerback, and then Chaz Nimrod rounding us out there. So that's your top players for Auburn. One in the 90s, a lot in the 80s. Byron Brown's pretty high as well in that. I mean, not to say that I don't expect him to be. He's a talented guy. We're really excited to have him, but I think obviously the guys that are in the game think a lot of him.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know kind of what he was last year as a South Florida player and know if that's how much of a jump, if any, he was given. So very interesting to see. And I mean, look, this Auburn offense on paper looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. The system in itself, regardless of who the guys are playing with, is built to be a fun, high scoring, fast paced offense. So I'm sure a lot of you can have a lot of fun with it in the video game.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to running a new system. Had a lot of fun with the old RPO system. Actually got really good with it, so I've got to switch it back up. But thankfully, we're going to run the what out of the ball, Austin?
The piss. We're going to run the piss out of the ball.
And I will be doing that a lot in the game. So that, and then final note on this, toughest place to play, 14th overall for Jordan-Hare in the game. And how many times can we say that phrase? For they're probably cutting a rule.
In the game.
In the game. I can't remember where we were last year, but this feels almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
And you got to wonder, I 100% agree that Auburn should always be in the top 15, even when they're not winning the way we've used to over the last 5 years. But I wonder, do they make their way into the top 10 had there not been it didn't have to be this way 5 years. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we've shown with A&M games and Iron Bowls and Georgia games and things like that Auburn and look, Kentucky games that you only score 3 points. So there's sellouts all over the place with this Auburn football program, regardless of what they've been through in the last 5 years. So 14th with all that, you think is probably pretty good, but has a chance when Auburn's rolling to be even higher, and we've seen that too. So I think there'll be plenty of plenty of arguments about where Auburn is in that list, but I think you're right. I think last year was about the same ranking or so.
Yeah, it feels very similar. So these are just things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but it's interesting to know where people's perception of Auburn as a program, even in a video game, is. And if you're going to be playing like we will, I assume you are as well, Austin. It sounded like that you'll be grabbing that game at some point, if not.
Yeah, I think so. I talked about this last year when I was growing up. Our parents, me and my brother, loved the game with a deep passion that was probably a sinful in a way. But our parents' rule was every other year, and I did not obtain it last year, so this would be the year to get back in the game. So we'll see how it goes.
We are due for us playing a little bit, so and we never made it happen last time. So let's make it happen this go round for Auburn one more time in the game. Last bit here in potpourri, we got to give some congratulations. Once again, a lot of these things come out as a announcement first, and then the actual event happens. This is one of those cases, but it's worth bringing up again, given how important this figure is to us, or I should say his voice is to us, and what he has meant to the Auburn family even now, but definitely helping us get through some very trying times in relation to the role that he now carries and that he has assisted in other fashions with others who carried the voice. For I think it was their 60th overall, or 80th actually. I'm getting the numbers mixed up here. It says 80 years of the ABA. The Alabama Broadcasters Association has announced and did announce previously their next class for their Hall of Fame. And Andy Bertram is officially a part of that. The announcement was previously made. They are going through a tour through the state, and I guess to the local areas where you can find these people. And they had one in the Auburnish area to honor Andy Bertram. And he is now, a Hall of Famer. I can't remember if he's part of any other Hall of Fames. He should be if he's not. I mean, we're obviously very biased here. We love us some Andy Bertram and what he and the rest of the crew has done with the Auburn broadcast team and painting the picture for everybody on any game day. And Andy's been with us through a lot of things. I mean, women's basketball is where I remember him, kind of getting into his voice a lot. And I know he did things other than that as well, but I think well-deserved, and it's a great honor for him to be named to that.
Yeah, great honor and well-deserved and not surprising. Very good to see him rewarded and recognized for his commitment to the profession, and also Auburn. Saw some great pictures of it this week with my good friend Brooke Myers and back when Andy was on the Sports Call Auburn radio show back when it debuted way back in the mid-90s. So Andy's I think he's said this before. Didn't go here, didn't grow up here, but has been ingrained and developed and lived through the Auburn family for a long, long time now. So love seeing that he is one of ours and is recognized and rewarded for all his commitment and contribution to the Auburn family.
Congrats to Andy. Like we said, well-deserved. Happy that this moment happened for you, and looking forward to many, many more years with you being the voice of the Auburn Tigers. All right, main topic time. Austin, by the way, may I say that was probably one of our most well-managed potpourris ever.
Let's fact that it's before 30 minutes, let's go.
Let's go. All right, we're going to do basketball off-season discussion. It's going to have some mini segments here. We're going to talk about the NBA draft, believe it or not, because there's some conversation around that I don't think some of us were expecting. Some roster updates in relation to the draft and that. And then we got some schedule updates. I think WT probably rolls his eyes at three things for me: for construction updates, food updates, and schedule updates, because he knows there's like my three favorite things in the world to discuss.
Well, look, WT, it's summer. It's June and July, sir. That is hotbed time for all three of your least favorite topics. I don't know what else to tell you.
This show brought to you by WT, and one of our proud members. We give him a hard time because he's able to give it right back to us all the time.
That's right.
On this chat. He's not here live right now, so just wait. His ears are just burning right now. All right. NBA draft 2026 for Auburn is definitely not one that was similar to last year, where there was high profile attention on it, with Janai Broom going there, others that got free agent deals, but maybe thought they were going to get drafted, like Dylan, who's probably now had the more successful beginning to his NBA career. So it just goes to show you, just because you don't get drafted doesn't mean you won't find your way to being a prominent place in any professional basketball, but NBA for these purposes. With that in mind, technically nobody was drafted that is a Auburn player officially yet. We'll get there. Let's talk about the guys that were picked up as free agents and have deals available to them. Keyshawn Murphy is our first one. He was the second of the day, I guess I should say that, but first one I have on my list here. Keyshawn Murphy, former big man for Auburn. He picked up a contract to play in the summer league. I think they call him a 10-day deal or something like that, to play with the Washington Wizards. So he'll be there. Congrats to him. I know we talked about it, not to bring up old history and stuff. It wasn't the best ending with him and the decision that we may not understand all the things, but you still want to see our people succeed. And he's an Auburn Tiger. So I'm happy to see him get his opportunity.
Yeah. You never know what these can turn into. Very similar to Dylan Cardwell. You have to make the most of what you're given, and Keyshawn Murphy gets to sign a summer league invite and a 10-day contract for the Washington Wizards, who certainly have just had the number 1 overall pick. So certainly plenty of room to go in and make your mark, and you never know what can happen. So best of luck to Murph.
We'll go from one key to the next. And the guy that was the first official pickup, I guess you'd say, for someone of a current or former Auburn player, Keyshawn Hall was signed as a free agent by the Miami Heat. I saw this one come across the screen or the social media, and I said, you know what? Not only because he came from UCF does this make sense, but I mean, just Heat, like that's Keyshawn Hall. He will bring the heat. He calls himself the big guard for a reason, loves to score, loves to be aggressive. In terms of matching a player and a personality to just the idea of a mascot or a team, at least in name alone, I think it matches beautifully. Happy to see Keyshawn Hall got his opportunity. He very much, I think, deserves that after the way he stuck it out and powered through with this team in that very, let's call it controversial postseason, even though there really shouldn't be controversy about it.
Sure. Yeah. Keyshawn Hall heads to South Beach. Is his the same setup of a contract, 10-day in summer league?
I don't think his is. I think his is more of your traditional free, like he'll be playing in the summer league and stuff like that.
Okay.
Now I could have that wrong, but that's the way I read it when it came across, that his is more of a traditional deal. And then Keyshawn Murphy's would be that kind of, we're going to give you a look real quick type of thing.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I think him in South Beach makes a lot of sense. Like you said, I think he'll have an opportunity to score a lot. They've also made some NBA news here recently in the trade and free agency world. So lots of interesting prospects and destinations for both Keyshawn and Keyshawn as they are starting their pro dreams. So best of luck to both of them. And I know the Auburn family will be excited to see either of them be really successful.
That'll probably be the last time we talk about Key and Key together. I mean, that's
probably unless they're playing against each other
or playing with each other. If they both find their way on the same team at some point in the NBA or overseas.
Look, if they're both in summer league, you never know what can happen.
You never know what can happen. Dylan Cardwell is a perfect example of that right there. Never count someone out. So technically, this is the end of our NBA draft talk, but it also involves technically. So this is a perfect segue, though, because we want to talk about roster update stuff for this summer. A little bit of a surprise for Auburn with the NBA draft, that one of their current signees. So I guess technically he's an Auburn Tiger. I don't really count it until they officially have their first tip-off of an official, not an exhibition, official game. Narcisse Ngoy, our international guy, one of them, I should say, who signed pretty early with Auburn in the process as a big man for Auburn. Yeah, he's played professionally for France for several years. I know that's going to stir up all this debate again, all this stuff. Signed with Auburn back in March, been around for a little bit. As far as we know, I don't think he's on campus quite yet. But the news is he was picked up in the second round of the NBA draft by the Clippers, by way of the Hawks, I think is like the Hawks traded this, and this is confusing. And then this is what was described, Austin, as a draft and stash prospect. So would you like to, or as you understand it, how that works, or do you even know?
Yeah, it's not super foreign to the NBA. Draft and stash is where you see a lot of these guys, especially in the late second round, and a lot with international guys is they now own the rights to you as a NBA player. So if you were to ever be successful. You can still play in the international league you're in, but if you were to ever be successful and decide that you would want to come to the NBA, the Clippers in this sense would then have the rights to you first. Never has that happened for college, but just by way of, I guess, happenstance and circumstance. So, but the way that works is Narcisse Ngoy did not intentionally enter himself into the NBA draft, but because he is an international player and because of his age, he is automatically entered into the NBA draft, and that therefore his rights are allowed to be picked. I don't know if he had any indication or any idea that the Los Angeles Clippers planned to pick him in the second round, but they did. And so it will still work the very same. Every indication from Narcisse is that he plans to play for Auburn this season. But if he is very successful and has a great year and wants to go pro, he will go straight on to the Clippers. No draft needed again. So very, very, very unique situation. Thus is college sports, college basketball in 2026, I guess. Yeah. But very, very unique situation for Auburn. I think a lot of people were concerned at first that it would he'd be gone and Auburn would be left with empty hands here in late June. But nonetheless, it looks like Auburn has an NBA prospect on their team to start the year.
It's such a weird thing because technically, he's not an Auburn Tiger officially yet, even though he's signed. He hasn't played a single snap or tip-off yet, or bounce, I guess you'd call it. But yet then you've also got where he technically is a Clipper too. So this is first of its kind, as we said, for at least for the college ranks and things like that. I think the interesting about this week, Austin, was how much I think it shifted people's minds about how to think of Narcisse. Because if the Clippers like you enough to want to go ahead preemptively say, we would like to be able to take you when you're ready to go to the NBA preemptively. And listen, nothing's guaranteed, but that says a lot to me. And not to say that things had been, the pecking order had already been established as far as big men, but you got Buki Aboye who's also coming in here and some others who have some size as well. And everybody can be worked into the roster or the starting lineup or depth chart differently. But I think that made people kind of maybe start to think, okay, maybe I don't have this starting five situation figured out as much as I probably do. Do you think that's a fair assessment of what people were kind of wrestling with?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think a lot of people, looked at Narcisse. He was one of the first ones to commit out of the portal. But with these international guys, for especially, the lay people of us that just follow this casually, there's not as many ways to see how Narcisse Ngoy or how these other international prospects do over there and how they might translate. We all did not know. We knew Filip Jovic was on the team. We all did not know how well he would contribute, and he did. Throughout Auburn's run, especially in the postseason. So I think that I don't think it's intentional as much as it is just a lack of knowledge of these guys, as well as we do in some high school ranks where there's more footage on them or even in the portal. But Narcisse Ngoy kind of was under the radar for a lot of Auburn fans. And now I think there's something to be said about what Brian Cloman, what Stephen Pearl, and the rest of this coaching staff was seeing now that the Clippers also saw.
Yeah, absolutely. So really exciting kind of night for Auburn in the NBA draft, and an exciting night or I guess it's just follow-up days with him confirming that, and Auburn confirming he would stay though.
Just get ready, Auburn fans, because this will be the Jarrett Stidhams from Texas all college basketball season. You will hear about this every Auburn basketball game. It'll be that's Narcisse Ngoy, drafted by the Clippers, but playing SEC basketball. You will hear it every night.
And Joe, also, did you know that Jarrett Stidham was from Texas?
Yes.
And did you know that Bo Nix's dad also played here as well?
Exactly.
Let's be like all flow.
Just get ready now, because you will hear that every night. The first thing I thought of when someone said, this is unprecedented, I thought, oh goodness. Unprecedented is about to be the new take a sip of your water during the Auburn basketball game.
Sorry, I was taking a sip of the water there. We're gonna make it happen here live on the show. Well, either way, we're happy for Narcisse and happy for Auburn as well, and what that just tertiarily means for him, for the team, for the program, all that kind of stuff. As a quick note on the roster side here, also some great news today. What was the final piece of signing officially or signing and being on campus? I'm gonna try it, Austin. Here we go.
I'm ready.
Mantas Rupstavicius.
You know what? I don't remember what it was when we first introduced them, so I'm going to say you did a great job.
I think I did it. I think I got much closer than I did last time.
Wait, can you say it one more time?
Mantas Rupstavicius.
You're just going fast enough just to make sure it sounds good. I want to say it was like Montas.
It's Montas. It's not Mantas. It's Montas. Kyle, you're an idiot.
Rupstavicius.
God, you're so much better at this than me. Why am I?
Montas Rupstavicius.
Montas Rupstavicius. I'm sorry, Montas. I'm going to get it. He's the Mon. Okay.
The only person that matters that gets it is the Hall of Famer Andy Burcham, and Lord help him.
I'm not trying to be the voice here. Bless you, Andy. Bless you. You're a Hall of Famer even before it was official this week. Okay. He is officially here. He's officially signed. Everything's good there. So with Narcisse being figured out, all that stuff, looks like the team's ready to go now, and they've already been doing their practice. So you got to feel good if you're an Auburn basketball fan that the team is together, ready to go forward, potentially, I think, all together for this European trip they're going to be taking at some point this summer.
Yeah, totally forgot about that trip. But half of them, I guess, are going to be going back to Europe. So, but yeah, it looks like there's a lot of work going in. Good to see Montas is on campus and ready to roll. So that's the earlier the better with the flow of all these guys and how well they play together.
Montas Roops.
Okay.
Bless it. Yeah, okay. I'll try. I'll keep working on it, Montas. All right. Final stuff in basketball news here. We parked one of these for time's sake, but also because I had a feeling this was going to happen. We have official SEC basketball schedule updates. We're going to start with the men's side of things and discuss some interesting schedule stuff this year for this. Now, remember, this is not the official schedule in terms of dates. This is simply who in the SEC will Auburn be facing at home, who Auburn will be facing away, and who you will see both times. I know we'll want to park it on one of those in particular. Just as the quick rundown, your home schedule for the year, you will get to see Florida. You will get to see Georgia, Missouri, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. That's going to be a lot of fun. Let's stop right there for a second, because I think if you're an Auburn basketball fan, if you're looking forward to the season, the home schedule, Neville Arena.
Well, and three more though.
And that is fair. Let me add Alabama, LSU, and Ole Miss. Thank you for that.
Somebody just had a heart attack.
There's the singles. The singles.
Yeah, I know.
But we'll get to that last little part too. But that's your home schedule right now. So you get Alabama obviously once in that. That's going to be a big one. Florida, Georgia, as of late, has been pretty decent too, with that always being a rivalry in itself. Tennessee too. Not to dismiss anybody else, but I mean, right there, that's a solid home schedule for the SEC without even knowing what the dates are.
It is, certainly. Yeah, great home schedule. You hope those are paired up really well and spread out really well with some other things, as we always talk about on the show. But, Florida is going to be the preseason number one. It'll be another Todd Golden return to the Plains matchup. Georgia, a great rivalry game. Josh Hubbard will come back to and play Auburn again with the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Oklahoma one. I'm just keep going. I'm gonna keep going. Oklahoma, one that Auburn dropped in Norman last year that really shouldn't have, so they'll get some revenge too. And Missouri's been on the uprise. Tennessee, that's always a great game with Stephen Pearl's alma mater and Rick Barnes coming back to the Plains. And then, like you said, Alabama, LSU, and Ole Miss as well. So that's a great slate, in my opinion, of home games. I love to see each of those at home, and especially not have to go to the six of those at the top.
If I'm Stephen Pearl, if I'm the Pearl family, I'm pushing really hard for the SEC office to have the Florida game be around that time we normally do, outlive the time that College Game Day likes to start taking their trips around campuses. I think with the Pearl and Golden connection, them being perceived as one of the best to start off the year, Auburn will be what they are, depending on the opinions about them, but they certainly aren't going to be a pushover by any stretch of the imagination. That is what I'm pushing for if I am them, because that would just, the camp out would go wild for that.
You don't think they'll try to outlive with Tennessee?
That makes the most sense given where Outlive and that the Pearl Family Foundation, all that started. But like, I'm just thinking about the notoriety of the game, getting college game day, and Tennessee would be that too.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, right now it's Auburn and Florida is like that dynamic there that's interesting given the Final Four situation.
Both of those are up there usually in late January. Both of those games, I feel like Florida maybe in early February, but I could see both of those being the same again.
Sure. Yeah. So you got some options there if you want to, but love that. Away schedule, Arkansas. Got to go to Bud Walton. That's always tough. Got to go to Rupp, Kentucky, South Carolina, Texas A&M. Thank goodness there's no Buzz Williams, but there's Bucky Ball there. Texas Longhorns too, and Vanderbilt Commodores. We have to go to that, and then the other three: Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss. But let me get it in. The most horrendous, awful, disgusting thing that has ever happened in sports. Memorial Coliseum, is that what it's called? Shouldn't even call it a Coliseum. I don't know what. Never mind. I was going to make a joke about Memorial, but I probably shouldn't because it's probably for something very solemn. Don't let that go.
Very mature of you.
That is called culling yourself, Kyle, and growth. That's what we're going to do. Either way, it's a monstrosity and it should not exist. The name can exist though. So the concept of that floor. Stop digging the hole, Kyle. Get out. All right. Away schedule. I think obviously your attention goes straight to playing at Tuscaloosa, playing at Bud Walton, playing at Kentucky. Anything else major stick out for you from, or what do you want to say about the away portion?
Auburn's become very familiar going to the Pavilion at Ole Miss as well. I think they've already played at Texas the first year Texas was in the league. All these, it feels like they play pretty frequently at. Doesn't feel like any of those are specific. I will say, and maybe this leads us into our home and home, is that LSU replacing Arkansas does not get Arkansas at home. It just gets you the one trip to Bud Walton instead of the both of them. So that's interesting. I don't feel like I remember. I mean, I'm sure it's been the last couple of years, but I don't feel like I remember Auburn going to the Maravich Center all that much recently for LSU. And so they'll get a chance to do that with Will Wade and their interesting team as well.
Well, let's talk about that since you brought it up. Obviously, every SEC men's basketball schedule, you get a 3-team situation where you play home and away. Certainly, you preserve the main rivalries for this, Auburn and Alabama.
Well, they apparently not, but
the main rivalry. Ole Miss has been retained across all of these options for some odd reason. I mean, I feel like that's Ole Miss once again, like wanting to be part of this what they believe is a growing rivalry. And so I don't know. I mean, we have had some good times in basketball and bad times as well with certain individuals, but LSU and now LSU and Auburn in football have a great rivalry, but it just feels like I think everybody's reacting to it the same way. This should be Georgia. We should be doing this home and away every year. Are we agreement?
Yes. I mean, last year when it was Arkansas, it was Auburn or it was Alabama, Ole Miss, and Arkansas.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah.
That made zero sense to me.
But it was fun though.
It was fine. But it made way less sense with Georgia out and Arkansas in. Yeah. I would rather take Ole Miss out and put Georgia in with Alabama, LSU, and Georgia. I think that's way more fun than doing Ole Miss again for like it feels like the 10th year in a row. So I don't know how they decide this. I don't think they know either, honestly. So, but LSU's the home and home now for. I guess this year and maybe next. So Will Wade's back. Auburn's, I think that gets a lot of buzz, but Auburn's done pretty fine against Will Wade in recent years. So looking forward to seeing that. It'll be a fun matchup at home and away. Auburn fans get to see that one. So it'll be a lot of fun.
It will be a lot of fun. This looks like a very exciting year. And I know it's the same teams every year, just different variations on where you go and how often you go there. But this does look like a very exciting buildup, especially at home if you're an Auburn basketball fan. So you should definitely see it that way. For the women's side of things, we got theirs last week. So I knew that the men would follow suit very quickly. So this is your list for the home for Auburn women's basketball. Coach Larry Vickers' second year. Arkansas, LSU, that's going to be a big one. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Missouri, Texas will be a big one too. Texas A&M and Vanderbilt. You don't get Alabama, you don't get Georgia. They're on the other way. But listen, you got to have some of these perennial powers like LSU and what they do every year. Get a crack at them at home. I'm not predicting anything for Coach Larry Vickers in second year. You got to have one of those. And so it's good that we got to see the LSU South Carolina dynamic. They're split up right now, thankfully so, for them in the second year, I should say.
They are split up, but you get Texas at home too, who was just the number 1 seed as well. So you get the opportunity to see them again. Mississippi State, always formidable. Arkansas, always a good matchup to have too. I think that's one Auburn's had success against. Vanderbilt was very good last year. Kyle, and excuse my ignorance. Why do they not
ask? I know what you're going to go ahead.
Why do we not do the same setup as the men with the home and home and the home and away? Like, why is the schedule just not set up the same?
Well, if you look at it, there's a repeat in the schedule. Do you see it? I'll give you 5 seconds to find it.
LSU's the home and away.
Yes. So there's always one repeat because there's one less team, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
League, if you
so who is it?
I think it is. It's not Vanderbilt. It's not Missouri. Who is it missing? Someone's missing here, and we can't place it right now. Everybody's like screaming at the screen right now at us.
Yeah.
It's not Oklahoma. It's not Texas. It's not Texas A&M. Nope. Who is it? Anyway, that is the reason that I understood it previously, is that there was not enough teams to make that type of schedule.
No. There's not a missing team because there's 16 on there, right?
Yeah.
But one's a duplicate, but the other would be Auburn.
This is a great point. What is going on here? Why do we play less? I think we play less games in women's basketball. That may be why.
Why?
I don't know.
I feel like my 3-year-olds, that's their favorite question. Why?
Why? I don't know.
Well, you know what my answer to that is usually?
What?
That's how God made it. So I guess that's how God made the SEC women's basketball schedule.
I don't know if I'm going to agree with you that theologically, but hey, whatever you want to do with that, you go ahead.
Brother, the why question, it knows no end.
I'm asking the why question now.
I know you.
So, wow, this one took a turn. Sorry. Women's basketball SEC schedule. That's your home portion of it.
It's a valid question, though. You see my point.
It is a valid question, a valid point. Aways, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, the repeat, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and then you got to go to Lady Vols. That's a tough. I mean, we got LSU at home, Texas at home, but your rivalry game's always going to be hard with Alabama. You got to go to Kentucky. You got to go to LSU. It's so
their schedule is brutal.
It's going to be tough. So I'm not going to make any predictions off of this. I think year 2 we always want to see improvements, but it's the SEC, as we always talk about. It's just a murderer's row no matter where you go in the SEC, no matter what. Even in women's basketball, which there's some just strong powers there every single year. All right, that's basketball news with what time we have left. We didn't manage our time as well on that one, but that's my fault. We are continuing in our series of the Jordan-Hare North End Zone Project. Here's the boilerplate stuff again. We've been doing this for several weeks now, walking through different aspects of this project so you can be informed. Also, just us have a general discussion about it. Hope that you've been enjoying that so you can understand maybe the how, the why this is happening the way it is, because there's a lot of discussion about why. And I think this 2 levels that we're going to discuss today is where a lot of the whys, the questions, maybe even frustrations come.
Why?
Because
why?
Yes, as we just discussed, that every twin little boy's favorite question right now. Austin knows all.
Because that's how God made the JHS North.
That's the second time theologically tonight I'm going to disagree with you, but anyway, so check all those segments out. Previously, we did the kind of multi-purpose segment below that. We've got them all. We still got a couple more to go of what I've got planned for that. If you're looking on the schematic on everauburn.com, which you should be checking out, is a great resource for you as an Auburn fan. You're going to see a cross section And on that, you will see the different levels marked off. We've done field level, concourse, multi-purpose level, which is almost a two-parter as well. This one is a two-parter because it's essentially the same thing with different levels, I'm sure, of money that it takes to get into each of these. These are the club and suite levels 1 and 2 of the Jordan-Hare North project at everauburn.com if you see that on there. And as you suspect here, this is where the money is. And
Kyle will be in 2, and I'll likely be nowhere near 1.
If I'm in 2, other than by the grace of God, just getting to see this for some reason before people actually go take part in this area, that is the only time that I will see this. Listen, let's talk about it, Austin, for a second. I know everybody's frustration is, well, this is not what we needed. We needed more for the general. It's already too expensive to go. We hear you. We understand. But unfortunately, this is where the money is made. And this is what they would not be offering this. They would not be doing this if people say they wouldn't pay for it. So you can't have it both ways. You gotta, if you want the money for your program, you gotta give it to the people that have more of the money. And I'm sorry, it's not me either. So don't say it's me. Austin, apparently not either, even though he's got 2 twin boys. So he's got to find a way to more financially be stable than me. Anyway, any thoughts on that, or just
I brought this up when JHS North and Ever Auburn was announced to begin with. In my opinion, I know that there's plenty of out there who say, "Oh, look at this, all for the rich and wealthy, all for the people. It won't be for anything for me." I've already said that I view this as a way to funnel other people out of other places, and those people move places, and it's an escalator here, and there will be more opportunities through this for the general public just down the ladder. But like Kyle said, especially in today's college athletics, the money is a huge factor in how successful your overall program is, your culture can be. And so one of these suites, pays for your quarterback. And so that's not apples to apples, but it is what college athletics is like today. And so, this has to be part of it. There was never going to be an end zone expansion or buildup without something like this. But that's just what it comes down to. It's just the state of the world. And so I still think it's very interesting to look at. I think it's gorgeous. Yeah. And so I like Kyle, I'd love to get a chance to look at it one day. Probably won't.
Hint, wink, wink.
Hint, wink, wink. Probably won't, but I still think it's going to be something very intriguing and very fun for people to look at and ooh and ah at.
Yeah. I mean, so from this point upward is now just all about the fan experience and the seats. Like where we talked about last week, that was a lot of multi-purpose, and literally was why it was called that, for things outside of game day. This is about game day. Now, I'm sure, just like we talked about last week, there's some overlap with the campus view suites that could also be meeting rooms on the next level up, suite level 1. If you go and look at the other schematic over there where it breaks down, I guess we can just reference that right now where we're at. We're looking at level 4, technically club and suite level 1. Going across left to right, you'll see that campus view suite. Down below is where they're going to be seated, though, in their viewing part, even since their suite is not a view of the stadium. It's a beautiful campus view out there. But the main bulk of what you see here is what's called the 1892 Club Suites Lounge. Is that lounge? Is that how you
Loge?
Loge. Is that like a new term I wasn't aware of?
It's used a lot in the theater.
In the theater. Well, for the theater thespians out there, the lounge, whatever. I don't care. I can't talk. We've learned that this episode. 1892 Legacy Club as well. The 1892 Club and Ballroom. So this is, exactly what it is. It's an event. It's a space for the people that are going to be at this donor level, all that kind of stuff. Some are going to just have the seats. Some are going to have the suites and the seats. Some will have, and then I'm sure they'll all have access to the club area and that ballroom area where there'll be more things. So, I know there's not much that we probably have to say about this, Austin, but 1892 is a nice little ring of tying Auburn into it and all that kind of stuff. But anything else that you'd like to add about this particular club level?
I'm just looking at the pictures of when you click in the 1892 club section of Ever Auburn and just seeing lots of seating areas, looks like lots of video boards. It's a way for members to remain fully immersed in the energy of the game. with indoor seating, air conditioning. There's a lot of love in AM games this year, so hopefully that's
That'd be nice.
maybe spur on a lot of people to think that could be worth it. Video screens, bar areas, expansive food and beverage offerings, just more available to.
Yeah.
I mean, you get what you pay for, and so it's going to be more of an opportunity for people to step inside for a minute and get maybe something different to eat. I will say, Kyle, and this is something I've thought about both as we've been going through this section.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big baseball fan, and every year, specifically the Atlanta Braves and other baseball, it's like become the thing to like make who has like the most ridiculously crazy food options that you can buy at the ballpark, and they're not always for everyone. They're not always like available to every person. I wonder if that will be a thing with all these expansive, as it says, food and beverage offerings. If there's, the Sheila C's AU beef burger that's like 8 pounds of meat and crazy stuff like that.
Right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be like $18.56 or something crazy like that. So I don't know. I just see expansive food and beverage offerings, and I think about that. I'm like, maybe there's a nice Toomer's lemonade version of some drink in there that they do differently but I could see that kind of things in
Pat's
these back. There you go. In these back areas. Look, we could market the heck out of this.
Listen, just hire us right now. That's all we're asking. Or
just let us get to look at it. Let us sniff around in there.
God, you said it. I was hoping he wasn't going to say it. And he said it. What's this a weird episode for you, man? Oh, what a weird one. Last bit on this section. I want to go back to the loge boxes.
The loge, yep.
This is, where you have these suites. Everybody thinks this is the money. And yeah, okay, it is. But this is where almost the same feel I get as at Plainsman Park over there on the third base side, where it's kind of hang out, not necessarily tailgate and stuff like that. You're out in the open. It looks like this is going to be unique to this level of the suites as well. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at some of these pictures and things like that. Brings us to the next level, same section. We're kind of similar sections here. Level 5, club and suite. Level 2, you'll have a campus view suite up there as well. So I guess that's 3 total levels of campus view suites there, left to right as we go across here. The entirety of this area is going to have, other than restrooms and common walking spaces and stuff like that, is going to be the Heisman Founders Club Suites seats across the way there. They will have a ballroom balcony they have access to, which overlooks that 1892 ballroom area too. So I'm assuming that means, Austin, that they would have access maybe to that as well. Because to me, this strikes me as like, if you get in this level, you get in this level type,
it's like an added on type thing. You get all of section 2 and this. I think you're right. I think it's just an elevated experience for the Heisman Founders Club and Suites, and just a little bit more selective or more elite status for those that get to mull around in there. Very cool to see, when you look through all the pictures and Founders Clubs and Suites of things like that. There. Looks like one of these crazy kitchen apartment things that you would see at a Major League Baseball stadium or something like that, but very Heisman themed. It looks like 800 square feet plus with 16 plus exterior seats, so that indoor outdoor feel that you get at a lot of suites or at a lot of
chandeliers, Austin. Chandeliers and some of this stuff. Like, I mean, this is the high end. This is what makes all y'all upset, and you can be upset all you want.
That's fine.
They want to pay it, and they will pay for it.
They want to pay it. Yeah, and I mean, I think it's okay. Like, if that's what your Auburn football game day experience wants to be, and you have the means to do it, I think that there will be plenty that do. And like you said, as someone who is a season ticket holder and gets the emails every year, there's always an email of, would you be interested in this, or would you be interested? And it's always very generic, but would you be interested in this? If this were to come, what would you want to pay for this? Those come every year. And it's very much what John Cohen referenced in the press release, is that we have had demand for this for a long time, and we want to make a way to make that happen. And so I know that's not most of the people listening to this. I know that's not your demand. I know he's not talking about you, but you might be in demand for just general reserve season tickets. And some of these people who might move up into this might be holding on to those and are willing to let them go. So it all works out, and it's okay. If this is not for you, look, Kyle and I will probably never step foot in here either, But if it's not for you, it's okay. But I think that it adds to the overall Auburn experience and brings Jordan-Hare Stadium into a modern day kind of view, and it's going to look gorgeous from the inside and outside. It's going to look absolutely gorgeous.
Austin, I didn't tell you that your ticket value for going to Maui next time is going for me getting into this club. So I'm just sorry.
Good.
We can't.
Good.
Sorry, we can't go to Maui next time. But or
Vegas.
Well,
you know what? I really missed it the last time. So.
Just as a final note here in this, again, it's mainly about the seats and stuff, but they will have that ballroom area, which is going to overlook campus too on the backside too. Some great views there that you'll have, as a lot of these spaces have had throughout this North End Zone project, to a space we'll get to out there too, eventually, and talk about as well. It looks like there also can be a conversion for a higher end meeting space as well as part of some of these club areas too.
I'm sure there will. I'm sure that like high end meetings, I could see, board of trustees meetings. I'm sure that all that will get used very well in there.
Yep. Multi-purpose, giving people what they want to pay for, whether you like it or not, and expanding the vision, the capacity in some ways, and the look and the feel of this North End Zone project is going to be awesome. And this is a very, very much a warranted and valuable addition to this project as well. All right, that's episode 1. I almost did it again. 178. I said, what
was that episode? You really liked that episode.
It must have been a good one. I need to go back and see.
10 weeks ago, that'd be like
it was before baseball was in post.
That'd be like late March. I don't know if that was.
I don't know, man.
It was a bit dramatic around that time.
A little bit, yeah. No, Auburn fans have never been dramatic before.
Never.
Never. That'll do it for this episode. If you want to keep up with me, you can do so on the E2C Network social media accounts. Direct messages are open there if you'd like to access us that way. E2CNetwork@gmail.com is a great way as well. Where can they find you?
Yeah, at Austin G. Scott on just about anything and everything. Let me know. Whatever it is you need me to know.
Then thank you all for tuning in with us for episode 178. And as we go, I remind you the Auburn Creed asks you to do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. We ask you to do the same. War Eagle.
War Eagle.